And yes, it is a pleasant Friday afternoon to one and all, and we welcome you to Middlesex, New Jersey. Middlesex High School is the place. It is opening day of the 2016 high school baseball season. The North Brunswick Raiders, coming off of a 10-12 campaign last year, will take on the Blue Jays of Middlesex, coming off of a 17-17 record 1 year ago, and that includes a state sectional title in Central Jersey Group 1. Middlesex, champions of the GMC Blue Division 5 of the last 6 years. They didn't win it last year. Bishop R did. But the Blue Jays, of course, loaded for bear this season under second-year head coach Justin Nastasi. North Brunswick under 12th-year head coach Ryan Lillis. And so the umpires are here. As you heard our game music, which means the umpires are here as they are with both coaches at home plate. And so we are just about set to go. North Brunswick and Middlesex, a rematch of last year's opener. North Brunswick defeated Middlesex last year 6-4 over at Guido de Torres Field. And so the Raiders will try and do that again and get themselves off to a 1-0 start. So for the Raiders, this is a crossover matchup. This is not a division game. This is not a GMC White division game. Middlesex out of the GMC Blue, North Brunswick out of the GMC White. And the Raiders with only 10 games in division. We touched on that in our pregame segment with Ryan Lillis. So every game in the division just matters extremely. It's extremely important. They will begin their division schedule on Monday when they head to South Plainfield. They have 2 games before that, including today. Middlesex takes the field. They are wearing their royal blue jerseys with the white letters and numbers, the letters written in the cursive, and the number underneath and on the back. They have the stripes going down the collarbone there on the jersey, going around the neck. White pants, blue stripes. So the Blue Jays will take the mound here. And on the mound for Middlesex is Kyle Nepton. He is on the mound, and Nepton is a left-hander. He is a sophomore. And so Nepton on the season. I just got to get down here to where I need to be. Nepton on the season had a record of 1-2. And Nepton with a... Wait a minute, let me put my glasses on here. Because as the older I get, Nepton 1-2 on the season, and then dust all of this off because that's one of the things about working outdoors. But Nepton 1-2 on the season, and an ERA of 5.25. I was looking at the wrong thing. 5.25 with a 1-2 record last year. So Nepton the lefty, and again, the Blue Jays, they lose Tristan O'Connor, they lose Stuart Lester. And they lose Joe Denizio to graduation. So some of the arms that they have. So Nepton will try to pick up the slack. Again, 1-2 with a 5.25 ERA. And Nepton had 21 1/3 innings pitched, 32 hits. Nepton walked 11 and struck out 12. He'll pitch to this lineup for the Raiders. Tyler Petrillo is leading off and playing left field. Andrew Tan, the center fielder, batting second. Eric Reardon is pitching and batting third. Jesse Shear is the first baseman, batting fourth. Roger Gomez, the designated hitter today, batting fifth. He'll hit for the right fielder, Eric Vasquez. Neil Gaeta at third, batting sixth. Justin Garcia at shortstop, batting seventh. Felix Diaz is the second baseman, hitting eighth. And Christian Petrillo in center field, batting ninth. So looks like we are ready to go. Tyler Petrillo stepping into the batter's box. Kyle Nepton is on the rubber. And he has the base, and it looks like, the umpire's ready. Kyle Nepton has the baseball, and he will make his first pitch, and it's a fastball at the knees for a called strike, and we are underway here in the 2016 high school baseball season. Tyler Petrillo, a right-handed batter. He is a senior, batting at .211. Last year, no homers, 5 runs driven in. Tyler had 7 walks. Nepton with his next pitch. Swung on, and this is hit out to right center field. The Bermuda Triangle. And trying to make the diving catch was Nick DiMaggio, but it will drop for a hit. So Tyler Petrillo leads things off with the single. So Petrillo on first, and making his first varsity at bat, or first plate appearance at least, will be freshman catcher Andrew Tan. Tan, one of the 3 freshmen on the Raider roster. Felix Diaz and Christian Petrillo, the other 2. Throw over to first, and Tyler Petrillo diving back. Andrew Tan showing some power in the preseason. Hit a home run in the preseason opener against South River. But gets his first varsity plate appearance here. Nepton throwing over to first. Again, Petrillo diving back. The Raiders in their blue jerseys as well. They're wearing blue with the gold letters and numbers. Raiders in the block letters there on the front and the number underneath. on the back. Neptune with his next pitch. Fastball high. So a ball and no strikes on Andrew Tan. We'll give you the defensive alignment for Middlesex here in just a moment. As Neptune once again throws over, and just checking in on Tyler Petrillo. Last year, Petrillo had 3 stolen bases. So into the line is Neptune. Fastball misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes now on Andrew Tan. Gorgeous day here for a baseball game. We'll get you the game time temperature in just a moment as well. So I got 2 things to do, the defensive alignment and the game time temperature. Next pitch fastball swung on and sliced foul right side, out of play. So the count now 2-1 here on Andrew Tan. Defensive alignment for Middlesex goes like this. Over at first base is Tyler Diamond. At second is Jack Nalisha. And Jared Benudolo is the shortstop. We'll get to the rest in a moment as Neptune throws over to first just to check in on Petrillo. But Jared Benudolo at short. Brandon Alojo is at third base. Alojo is at third. James Esposito in left. Mike Schweier in center. Nick DiMaggio in right. Mike Lavinia is behind the plate. And Kyle Neptune with his next pitch. Fastball missing up high. 3 balls and a strike on Andrew Tan. So the 3-1, fastball high, ball 4. And so that draws the walk. So Tan is on. Petrillo moves down to second. And that'll bring up first baseman Eric Reardon, who I've said for the past couple of years is one of the must-see at-bats in the state of New Jersey for high school baseball. A left-handed batter, so lefty versus lefty here. And Neptune's first pitch, breaking ball, hits him. Hits Reardon just below the fanny with a breaking ball, and that will load the bases. So obviously first hit batsman of the game here for Neptune. So that'll load the bases. Conference on the mound here as the Raiders had the first 3 on base to start the first inning. Nobody out. And the cleanup hitter is Jesse Shear. I didn't even get a chance to read your Eric's numbers. Eric hit .403 last year, 7 homers, 25 driven in, led the team in hits with 25. Jesse Shear, Uncle Jesse hitting at .340 last year, no homers, 12 runs driven in, and he's got a golden opportunity here. Game time temperature, partly cloudy, 78 degrees, a perfect day after they said that there was going to be thunderstorms everywhere. But a perfect day for baseball. And so Kyle Neptune in a huge jam. His first pitch to Shear, swing and a miss. Low fastball for strike 1. Shear, of course, going to be a big part here, the run-producing part of the lineup here for the Raiders. Justin Garcia on deck. So the runners will take their lead. Neptune at the set. And his 0-1 to Shear, breaking ball, drops in at the knees, curveball for strike 2. So 0-2 on Jesse Shear. So no balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the top of the first. The Raiders have the bases loaded. And Neptune with his next pitch. Fastball just missed inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jesse Shear. Maybe a little bit high as well. Mike Lavinia asking where that was. I'm sitting here on the third base side of the field next to the Raiders dugout. So Neptune at the set. And his next pitch. Curveball drops in at the knees for strike 3. And that is the first out of the inning. First strikeout for Kyle Neptune. 1 out. And that'll bring up senior DH Roger Gomez. Gomez, a right-hand batter. Gomez only had 1 at bat last year, did not get a hit. Neptune with his first pitch. Swung on, and this is line into center field. Forward base hit. Tyler Petrillo scores. Coming around third is Tan. He'll score. The throw is cut off. Roger Gomez. A 2-run single to give the Raiders a 2-0 lead. A soft liner going into center field. Gomez drives in 2. As Petrillo and Tan both score. Here's Neil Gaeta. Neil last year hit at 136 with 2 RBIs. So we'll see if Neil can get back to where he wants to be as he swings and hits this one high in the air out to left field. James Esposito goes back, makes the catch. And that is the first out of the inning. The runners hold. So Gaeta trying to go the other way. But now in the number 7 spot is Justin Garcia. I said he was 5th before. That's my fault. He's hitting 7th. So Justin starting his junior year at shortstop. Neptune into the line. His first pitch fastball is at the knees for a called strike. 0-1. Justin last year hit .214, no homers, 13 RBIs. Justin, a right-hand batter. Reardon leads off second. Gomez off first. Neptune at the set. And his 0-1 to Garcia. Swung, and this is line into left field for a base hit. Reardon rounding third. Esposito's going to come up with the throw. The throw is cut off. Reardon slides in. 3-0 Raiders. Justin Garcia with the RBI single. So the Raiders have come out swinging. Gomez is at second. Still only 1 out in the inning, and the number 8 hitter for the Raiders is up, Felix Diaz. Felix Diaz getting his first varsity at bat, and then Christian Petrillo behind him as well. Diaz is a freshman. And first pitch, fastball missing high, ball 1. So the Raiders have come out with a 3 spot here in the top of the first. And Kyle Neptune will come to the set here. His 1-0 to Diaz, and that one will be just missed, maybe outside. 2 balls and no strikes here on Felix Diaz. And I'm sure if you're Justin Nastasi, the last thing you want to do is have to go to your pen early here. Neptune at the set. His next pitch, and that one misses high. Ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes on Felix Diaz. Ryan Lillis flashing the signs over to third base coach's box. John Wares over as the first base coach. And Neptune with his next pitch, and that one misses away. Ball 4. And that reloads the bases. Now Middlesex has already made 1 mound visit here, so we'll see if they make another one. Justin Garcia moves down to second. Roger Gomez is at third. The bases are loaded. Christian Petrillo will get his first varsity plate appearance. Right-hand batter, Neptune, with his first pitch. Fastball at the knees. Borderline strike, 0-1. It's 314 feet down the left field line here at Middlesex. 370 to center and 323 going to right. Neptune with his 0-1. Swung on, this is line in the left center field, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. Bounces away from Schweier. 1 run scores. That's Gomez. Garcia comes around. He scores. Stopping at third is Diaz. And Christian Petrillo in his first varsity at bat drives in 2. And the Raiders take a 5-0 lead here in the top of the first inning. And that's going to be it for Kyle Neptune. Justin Nastasi will take the baseball here. And Nastasi will go into his arsenal of arms. It looks like Quincy West will come in here to pitch for Middlesex. So we have a pitching change here in the top of the first inning. 1 out. The Raiders lead it by a score of 5-0. We will break, and we will come back after the pitching change in just a moment. This is North Brunswick Raiders baseball, and it's on the King James Radio Network. We come back now to the top of the first inning. New pitcher in the game is Quincy West. He replaces Kyle Neptune. We'll get you Quincy's numbers here in just a moment. But it's back to the top of the order. The 10th man to bat here in the top of the first inning is Tyler Petrillo. The Raiders lead it 5-0. Still only one out. They have runners at second and third. So Petrillo, who singled to start the game. First pitch, fastball, squirts under the glove of Mike Lavinia to the backstop. Here comes Diaz. He slides in without a throw, and the Raiders lead it 6-0. So a passed ball there. Lavinia just couldn't backhand it. And it squirts to the backstop, which is about roughly 15, 20 feet away from home plate. And Diaz comes home with the 6th run of the inning. Christian Petrillo now at third. It's a ball and no strikes on Tyler Petrillo. So Quincy West with his next pitch. Fastball is at the belt for a called strike at 1-1. Quincy West last season was 1-1 with a 4.27 ERA, 19 2/3 innings pitched, and 23 hits. His next one is at the knees for a called strike, 1-2 on Tyler Petrillo. So again for West, 19 2/3 innings, 23 hits. West had 8 walks and 20 strikeouts. He'll step off here. A ball and 2 strikes on Tyler Petrillo. His younger brother, Christian Petrillo, is on third. And West will come to the set. And his next pitch, breaking ball swung on and hit softly into center field. And that's going to drop in for a base hit. Christian Petrillo scores. Tyler drives in his younger brother. And the Raiders lead it 7-0. So the Petrillo brothers immediately getting into the act. The 11th man to bat here in the top of the first is Andrew Tan. Tan walked his first time up. Right-hand batter. And Quincy West with his first pitch, fastball high. Lavinia comes up out of the crouch for ball 1. And boy, I tell you, this couldn't have gone any better for the Raiders, and probably just the opposite couldn't have gone any worse for Middlesex. Throw over to first, and getting back is Tyler Petrillo. I've said in the preseason that the Raiders, their offense will not be the problem. Their offense won't be the problem. Defensively and pitching-wise is where the Raiders are going to make or break this year. As next pitch from West, fastball high, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes on Andrew Tan. And, of course, if you heard our segment with Greg Tafaro, the Home News Tribune in our pregame, the Monroe Falcons will be the team to beat this year. As West with his next one, fastball high, ball 3. So Andrew Tan ahead in the count here, 3 balls and no strikes in a first inning that just will not end for the Blue Jays. But if you heard Greg Tafaro in our pregame, he talked about Monroe and the pitching that they have, the arms that they have. As West with his 3-0 is in the dirt, ball 4. And Tan draws the walk, his second walk of the inning. That'll move Tyler Petrillo down to second and bring Eric Reardon back to the plate. Reardon, first pitch he saw from Kyle Nipton, he was hit right under the derriere there, so Eric will try to get a pitch to hit here. So Quincy West will come to the set. Still only 1 out in the inning. Or 2 outs, 2. First pitch, fastball high, ball 1. Let me double check that before I go running off at the mouth. No, I was right. There is 1 out in the inning. No, there's only one in the inning. My fault. I knew I'd mess up sometime today. It's this weirdest swings and mile-high pop-up into short center field. No, it is 2 outs. I'll get it right. That was 2 outs. Anyway, making the catch is center fielder Mike Schweier, side retired. There were 2 outs in the inning. So the inning finally over. That's right. Shear struck out and Gator flied out. So, yes, 3 outs. All right. So as you can see, I'm a little loopy already here in the first inning. That's because the Raiders scored 7 runs. 7 runs for the Raiders, and they do it on 5 hits. There were no errors and 2 men left. Middle of the first on opening day. I didn't think I would say this, but it's North Brunswick 7, Middlesex coming to bat. This is North Brunswick Raiders baseball, and it's on the King James Radio Network. We come back to Middlesex, New Jersey. Corbett Thompson on the King James Radio Network at jamesisking.com. Also on Facebook. Look us up, King James Radio Network, and on Twitter at King James Radio 1. So we go to the bottom of the first. It is North Brunswick 7, Middlesex nothing. Eric Reardon, the senior left-hander, on the hill for North Brunswick. Last year, Eric was 5-2 with a 1.81 ERA, 38 and 2/3 innings pitched, 39 hits, 16 walks, and 42 strikeouts. Of course, the Raiders lose Stephen Boyd, who was one of their left-handed pitchers. Also played center field for the Raiders. He graduated along with Nate Facey, who played third base and was also in the starting rotation as well. So North Brunswick having to replace those guys. Matt Maranka and Nick Maranka as well. Matt gave the Raiders some innings a year ago. He'll pitch to this lineup. Jared Venutulo will lead off and play shortstop. Tyler Diamond, the first baseman, hitting second. Mike Lavinia is the catcher, batting third. Andrew Pilara, the DH, batting fourth. Venutulo will step into the batter's box here. We'll get to the rest of the Blue Jays lineup as Eric Reardon, he has the baseball. And he goes into the line with his first pitch. Fastball missing outside for ball one to Venutulo. Jared Venutulo, a right-hand batter against the lefty Eric Reardon. Into the line. Next pitch, fastball at the knees for a called strike. So it's 1-1. Venutulo is a freshman, so this is actually his first varsity at bat. And Reardon into the line. His next pitch, swing and a foul back over the backstop. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes now on Jared Venutulo. Finishing up with the batting order, Nick DiMaggio in right field for Middlesex bats 5th. Brandon Elojo bats 6th. He plays third base. James Esposito in left batting 7th. Jack Nalisha is at second batting 8th. And Mike Schweier is batting 9th. He plays in center field. Meanwhile, Reardon pumps a fastball at the knees for a called third strike. Head coach Justin Nastasi disagrees. The pitchers are getting that borderline strike just below the knees. That's the first out. First strikeout for Eric Reardon. Here comes Tyler Diamond, who plays first base. Reardon's first pitch, fastball high, ball 1. Tyler Diamond is a sophomore. Right-hand batter. Diamond hit .326 last year. As Reardon goes into the line, and his next pitch swung a sliced foul over the bleachers to the right and out of play. A ball and a strike. Diamond hit .326 last year. No homers, 20 runs driven in for the Blue Jays. Reardon into the line. His next pitch, fastball missing low. 2 balls and a strike on Tyler Diamond. So the Blue Jays trying to climb out of a 7-0 hole. Eric Reardon into the line. His next pitch, fastball is at the knees for a called strike. Now 2-2. If you heard our pregame segment with Raiders head coach Ryan Lillis, you talked about the fact that North Brunswick has to hold on to leads just like this one that they have now. As Reardon's next pitch, swing and a slice foul over the Middlesex dugout and out of play. So it's still 2-2 on Tyler Diamond. In the Raiders' last scrimmage against Piscataway, they had a 6-0 lead. They scored 6 runs in the first inning, just as they did here with 7 in the first. But Piscataway chipped away and ended up forcing a 6-6 tie. Of course, that was a scrimmage. As Reardon, next pitch, swung on. This is grounded past the mound into center field for a base hit. So Tyler Diamond with a 1-out single for the Blue Jays. That'll bring up senior catcher Mike Lavinia. Lavinia homered against North Brunswick last year at the Torres Field. Lavinia hit .370 last year, 2 homers, 30 runs batted in. And again, one of those came against the Raiders. Reardon at the set. And his pitch, fastball high, ball 1. Reardon is a hard-throwing lefty. We'll give you the defensive alignment for the Raiders here in just a moment. As Eric with his next pitch, fastball swung and hit high in the air out to center field. Christian Petrillo drifting to his right. He's under it. He makes the catch. And that is the second out. Jared Venutulo, rather. I said Venutulo. Venutulo stays at first. So that'll bring up the DH, Andrew Pollara. So Pollara, right-hand batter. And Eric Reardon with his first pitch. Fastball high, ball one. Reardon missing high on that first pitch. So Pollara, right-hand batter. He is a senior. Does not have numbers from last year. And Reardon with his next pitch. That's a fastball, is going to be called a strike at the knees. Ball and a strike. And again, that's that borderline strike there below the knees. And both pitchers so far have gotten that call. So we'll see if the home plate ump stays consistent. Reardon with his 1-1. Swing and a foul back. Carr coming too. About to get pelted with a baseball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The driveway to the school here at Middlesex is, pretty much right behind home plate. So any foul ball that goes back there, if you're driving by, look out. Reardon with his 1-2 in the dirt. Nice stop by Tan. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Andrew Pollara. So the count at 2-2. And Reardon into the wind. His next pitch. Fastball swung and chopped on the ground. Right side over. Going past Diaz into right field for a base hit. Momentarily bobbled by Vasquez, but he recovers. Stopping at second is Tyler Diamond. So Pollara has a single to keep the inning going for Middlesex. 2 on and 2 out. Nick DiMaggio will come to the plate here for the Blue Jays. DiMaggio only had 4 at-bats last year, did not have a hit. Eric Reardon will come to the set. And his first pitch, fastball low, ball 1. So the Blue Jays trying to have something going here. With runners at first and second and 2 out. They trail 7-0 here in the bottom of the first. So Eric Reardon, he will come to the set here. His next pitch, fastball at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Just keep in mind, folks, when I say at the knees, I'm probably talking about a little bit below. Like I said, the umpire's been calling that low strike. So Reardon at the set. And his 1-1. Swing, and this is a liner up the middle. Diving catch by Felix Diaz. He's got it. Side retired. Diaz making the diving catch in front of the bag at second base. And so Felix Diaz getting his first chance over at second. And he's able to make the play to end the inning. So for Middlesex, no runs on 2 hits. There were no errors, and the Blue Jays leave 2. End of 1 here at Middlesex. It's North Brunswick 7, Middlesex nothing. We'll break. We'll come back with Raiders baseball presented by the North Brunswick Baseball and Softball Association on the King James Radio Network. Jesse Shear comes to the plate for the Raiders to start the top of the second, and he swung at the first pitch from Quincy West and grounded out to second base, where Jack Nalisha made the play, and he got it over there for the first out. So 1 pitch, 1 out here in the second. And first pitch from West to Roger Gomez is a fastball up and in for ball 1. Shear is now 0 for 2. Gomez singled his first time up. Gomez, a right-hand batter. West with his next pitch. That one took a little off of it, misses high. 2 balls and no strikes on Roger Gomez. We're in the top of the second. North Brunswick scored 7 runs in the top of the first. They lead it 7-0 over Middlesex. West with his next pitch, fastball outside, ball 3. So the count at 3 balls and no strikes on Roger Gomez. The shade from the trees is out over the left side of the infield here as the fastball misses high, ball 4. So the walk for Gomez. First walk issued by Quincy West. So that'll bring up Neil Gaeta, left-handed batter. West with his first pitch, fastball up and in, ball one. Gaeta flied out to left his first time up. Neil, a right-handed batter. West will come to the set. His next pitch, fastball, just missed up high. Michael Vigna will go out here and chat with Gaeta. It's chat with Quincy West. It's ball two. 2 balls and no strikes. Maybe just a cross up on the signs there. So the count at 2-0 on Neil Gaeta. And again, Neil, he just wants to get back to the hitter that everybody thought that he could be. Throw over to first and close play, but diving back is Roger Gomez. I think we all knew coming into when Neil came to high school that he could hit, but he's just struggled a bit over the last year or two. As West with his next one, fastball misses inside for ball 3. Now, Neil looks like he's improved on his defense a bit, but the problem is you don't want to trade your offense away. 3 balls and no strikes here on Gaeta. So West with his 3-0, fastball way up high, ball 4. Gaeta walks, back-to-back walks here in the second inning. Gomez heads down to second. Time is called, and we're going to get a mound visit here from Justin Nastasi. And, the funny thing with Middlesex is last year, when the Raiders beat Middlesex on opening day, 6-4, it started to send Middlesex on a downward spiral in that the Blue Jays lost their first 5 games last year. But then they turned things around and ended up winning the Central Jersey Group 1 title. So a slow start last year. I'm sure, the last thing that Justin Nastasi wants to see is another slow start this year. Runners at first and second with 1 out here in the top of the second inning for the Raiders. And Justin Garcia will come to the plate. Justin singled and drove in a run his first time up. Justin, a right-hand batter, facing Quincy West. And West with his pitch. And this will be at the belt for a called strike. 0-1 on Garcia. Shout out to Omar Garcia if he's listening somewhere. I don't see him here at the game. He might be here, but West at the set. And his next pitch, fastball will be at the knees for strike 2. So Justin now in the hole at 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Roger Gomez leads off second. Neil Gaeta leads off first. North Brunswick 7, Middlesex 0 here in the top of the second. Next pitch from West, breaking ball, drops in at the knees for a called strike 3, and that is the second out. First strikeout for Quincy West. So 2 out now, and Felix Diaz will come to the plate. Felix, in his first official plate appearance, walked. Right-hand batter. So West will come to the set here. Looks at second, now delivers his pitch. Fastball high, ball 1. So we get to the bottom of the North Brunswick order here. And listen, the Raiders, aside from Monroe, they've got to deal with South Plainfield. Not to mention JFK and Colonia. And next one, way up high, sails past Lavinia to the backstop. The runners will advance. Gomez to third. Gaeta to second on the wild pitch. It's 2 balls and no strikes on Felix Diaz, and it seems like nothing is going right for the Blue Jays right now. 2 balls and no strikes here on Diaz. But yeah, South Plainfield, JFK, Colonia, Woodbridge, all of the Raiders' opponents, in addition to Monroe, as West misses with another fastball outside. 3 balls and no strikes to Felix Diaz. So Christian Petrillo is on deck, and he already has 2 RBIs. So the Raiders with a chance here to really go up big. Bigger than they are already. Next one, fastball high, ball 4. That will load the bases. Third walk of the inning. Loads the bases with 2 out. And Christian Petrillo at the plate. Petrillo drove in 2 with a single his first time up. So Chich Petrillo, as he is nicknamed, a right-hand batter. So West is at the set here. And his pitch hits Petrillo in the back, and that'll force in a run. So Christian Petrillo getting his first varsity RBI, or check that, his third varsity RBI the hard way. And Justin Nastasi will come out here, and he might be forced to make another pitching change because West has not been able to find the strike zone. And yep, so in second pitching change in 2 innings from Middlesex here. As Petrillo hit by the pitch, forces in a run. The Raiders lead it 8-0, and we will get yet another pitching change in what has so far been a disastrous afternoon for the Blue Jays. So we'll take a break here for the pitching change as Zach Adams will come in. So we'll break, and we'll be back in just a moment. We're in the top of the second, 8-0 Raiders. This is North Brunswick Raiders baseball, and it's on the King James Radio Network. This week at Restoration Place with Pastor John Bazemore Jr., an appointment with destiny on Resurrection Sunday.
The appointment with destiny is going to happen. The things that God has planned for your life, they're going to happen regardless of how you feel about it.
Restoration Place is on the King James Radio Network at jamesisking.com. We come back. We're ready to go. Tiago Petrillo is in the batter's box. Zach Adams with his first pitch, and it's a fastball at the knees for a called strike. Tiago Petrillo gets his third at bat here in the top of the second inning. North Brunswick 8, Middlesex nothing. Petrillo has 2 singles and an RBI. Adams with his next pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2. The Raiders better save some of these hits, because they have to go to Absecon tomorrow down in South Jersey, down by Atlantic City, to take on Holy Spirit. And then they do get a day off on Sunday before division play begins on Monday at South Plainfield. Adams at the set. His next pitch swung on, and this has popped up in the short left field. Coming in is James Esposito. He makes the catch. Side retired. So the Raiders do score one more. They score 1 run on no hits. There were no errors. And 3 men left. Well, we play 1.5. And it's North Brunswick 8, Middlesex nothing. We break. We'll come back with Raiders baseball on the King James Radio Network. Your home for Restoration Place, North Brunswick Raiders sports, Timothy Christian basketball, and the Jersey Basketball Association is the King James Radio Network. We go to the bottom of the second here in Middlesex, New Jersey. Corbett Thompson at jamesisking.com. And, well, the Raiders right out of the gate, 7 runs in the top of the first inning. They tack on 1 more here in the second. They lead it 8-0 over the Middlesex Blue Jays. Senior left-hander Eric Reardon backed out for inning number 2. I don't think I ever got to the Raiders' defensive alignment in the first inning. We'll get to it here. But Brandon Alojo is up first. And so Eric Reardon, the lefty, will go into the line with his pitch. Swing and a miss, fastball. Throw it by him, 0-1. Alojo, a right-hand batter. And now Jesse Shear will come in just to chat with Eric for a second. But Alojo is a junior. And Eric Reardon will go into the line with his 0-1. Fastball low. 1 ball and 1 strike. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 in the batting order for the Blue Jays. And Reardon will go into the line. His next pitch swung on and popped up, got him in on the hands, popped him up and fouled it to the right over the Middlesex dugout. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Looking at some of the other competition, we were talking about this in the last inning with the GMC White. Next pitch, swung on. This is chopped over to first base. Jesse Shear has it. He'll go to the bag himself on the hop and gets the out there. So 1 out. But yeah, with the competition in the White division, Monroe at the top of the list. But like I said, South Plainfield is going to be right there. Colonia always gives the Raiders problems. JFK. Those teams will now be Woodbridge as Reardon with his first pitch. Swung on, and this is skied out to right field by James Esposito, but Eric Vasquez runs over towards the line and makes the catch. 2 outs. And then, of course, there's the competition outside of the division as well. Teams like Middlesex, for example. The Raiders also will play Bishop R this year. I'll give you guys a stat here for those that don't know is Jack Nalisha will come to the plate. Alicia, right-hand batter. And first pitch is at the knees with a fastball for strike 1. The Raiders, in the GMC, there are 9 head coaches in the GMC who have 100 wins or more for their career that are currently active. Reardon's next pitch swung on, and this will go over to the backstop. I'm not sure if that was a foul tip or a swing and miss, but either way, it's 0-2 on Jack Nalisha. The Raiders, on their schedule this year, there are 9 coaches in the GMC, in the Greater Middlesex Conference, that are active who have over 100 wins. The Raiders will face 7 of them this year. Ryan Lewis is on that list as well. Reardon's next pitch, fastball misses high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Coach Lewis of the Raiders has 123 wins. Scott Runkle of Bishop R, who the Raiders will see this year, he's got 420 wins. No one else has 200. Reardon's next pitch. This one is swung on and grounded to short. Justin Garcia, throw to first. In time, side retired. A 1-2-3 inning for Eric Reardon. And Middlesex goes in order. Nothing across for the Blue Jays. We play 2 here in Middlesex. It is North Brunswick 8, Middlesex nothing. We'll break. We'll be back with North Brunswick Raiders baseball on the King James Radio Network. We make it back here to Raiders baseball on the King James Radio Network. We go to the top of the 3rd inning. North Brunswick 8, Middlesex nothing. 2, 3, and 4 in the order. Andrew Tan is up first against Zach Adams. First pitch is in the dirt, and it bounces away from Mike Lavinia for ball 1. Andrew Tan has 2 walks in his first 2 plate appearances. Zach Adams at the set. His next pitch. And the breaking ball drops in for strike 1, so it's a ball and a strike on Andrew Tan. So the count at 1-1. So Adams at the set is 1-1. Swung on, and this is lined down the left field line, but a foul ball. So the count at 1-2. And Mike Lavinia will go out to talk to Zach Adams maybe for a change of pace here. So the count at 1-2. But we were talking about in the last half inning about the fact the Raiders will face 7 of the top 9 coaches in the county. Next pitch, swung on and popped up. Going over to shortstop and making the catch there is going to be Jared Benudolo. He makes the catch for the first out. So 1 down. And Eric Reardon will come to the plate. Reardon hit by a pitch, and he has flied out to center. Left-hand batter. And first pitch from Adams, swung on, and this is going to be chopped on the ground, going over towards first. Making the play there is Diamond. He'll toss it over to Adams, who covers, and gets Reardon for the out. So score at 3-1, 2 down. That'll bring up Jesse Shear. Shear is 0 for 2. Struck out looking and grounded out to second. So Zach Adams looking for the first 1-2-3 inning for the Blue Jays. Fastball at the knees for strike 1. 0-1 on Shear. 0-1. Adams with his next pitch. Breaking ball dropping in. They're heading the count 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes on Jesse Shear. Adams with his next pitch. And that one misses. Maybe a little away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the count at 1-2. Adams now into the wind. His next pitch. And that one misses low. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jesse Shear. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the top of the third, North Brunswick leads it 8-0. Next one, fastball low. Shear now with a full count at 3-2. So coming to the set, Adams with his next pitch. This one is swung on and popped up left side. Going out is the shortstop. Coming in is the left fielder, James Esposito. He makes the catch. Side retired. So a 1-2-3 inning for Zach Adams. And the Raiders go in order. Nothing across. We play 2.5 here in Middlesex. It's North Brunswick 8, Middlesex nothing. We'll break. We'll be back with Raiders Baseball on the King James Radio Network. Back to Raiders Baseball on the King James Radio Network, presented by the North Brunswick Baseball and Softball Association. Bottom of the third, North Brunswick 8, Middlesex nothing. And so for the Blue Jays, it'll be 9-1-2 in the batting order. Mike Schweier is up. Schweier, a right-handed batter against the lefty Eric Reardon. And so here we go. Reardon into the wind, and his first pitch to Schweier, fastball in the dirt, goes to the backstop for ball 1. Again, Middlesex, they lost a lot of experience there, and you can see here in game 1, it's hurt them. Tristan O'Connor, who was a very good pitcher, pitched very well against the Raiders on opening day last year. Fastball on the inside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike on Schweier. But they lose Tristan O'Connor to graduation. They lose Joe Denizio. And they also lose Stuart Lester. Next pitch. Swing and a miss. That one in the dirt. That goes to the backstop. 1-2 on Schweier. So, the Blue Jays will have to compensate for that some kind of way. They're going to have to find the pitching here to survive, even in the GMC Blue. And Reardon's next pitch. Fastball up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Middlesex, of course, the defending Central Jersey Group 1 champions. So the Blue Jays, perhaps may even have state aspirations as well. Reardon into the wind and is 2-2. Swung on and popped up. Foul right side. It'll be out of play. Count remains 2-2 on Mike Schweier. It'll go back to the top of the order, and Jared Benudolo, he is up next. But the Raiders, so far so good. You'll take it if you're Ryan Lillis. Reardon into the wind, and his next pitch. Fastball, this is swung on and going a line in the left field for a base hit. So Mike Schweier picks up the 3rd hit of the day for Middlesex. So the Blue Jays have a runner on first and nobody out. And Jared Benudolo will come to the plate. Benudolo struck out looking his first time up. Benudolo, a right-hand batter. Reardon into the wind, his first pitch. Fastball at the knees for strike 1. Head coach Justin Nastasi, who took over for Mike O'Donnell, who's now the athletic director here at Middlesex. And again, he's at the hospital with his son Shane. Throw over to first, who's fighting cancer. We were expecting to have Coach O'Donnell here on the broadcast, but I know he was saying he got in touch with me earlier today that, basically took like 5 hours to get a room in the hospital there. So he's just trying to get squared away there. So hopefully he's able to make it today. As this one is swung on and grounded in the hole, left side base hit under the glove of Garcia. And so back-to-back singles here in the 3rd. Stopping at second is Schweier. Benudolo with a single. 2 on, nobody out for the Blue Jays. And this is where the Raiders have to be careful. Tyler Diamond is at the plate. You got the middle of the order coming up here. Mike Lavinia, who we mentioned homering against the Raiders last year, he is on deck. Reardon at the set here. And his first pitch, fastball swung on and missed. No balls and a strike on Diamond. Diamond singled his first time up. So Mike Schweier on second, and Jared Benulo. He is on first. And next pitch, swing and a miss. So Diamond now in the hole at 0-2. Glad you're with us on a windy but a very warm day here in Middlesex, New Jersey. Eric Reardon will come to the set. Looks towards second. Now his next pitch. Chopped foul behind the plate. Going toward the Middlesex dugout. So the count remains at 0-2. Of course, opening day, always a big deal, no matter where you are. Whether you're in Middlesex, New Jersey, or whether you're in Yankee Stadium. Of course, the Mets open their season in Kansas City. The geniuses of Major League Baseball wanted to schedule. Well, I should leave them alone for marketing purposes and all that. A rematch of the World Series. The Mets will be in Kansas City on Sunday night. Reardon's next pitch, swing and a miss. Awkward cut there from Diamond for strike 3. And that's the first out of the inning. Second strikeout for Eric Reardon. 1 out. And catcher Mike Lavinia will come to the plate. Lavinia, a right-handed batter. Runners will take their lead here for the Blue Jays. And Reardon with his first pitch. Breaking ball, missing high. Ball 1. We mentioned before about the Raiders and the schedule that they're going to have. They face Bishop Barr and Scott Runkle, who has 420 wins. They face Edison with Ben Abeni, who has 198. As Reardon with his next pitch, fastball grounded foul behind the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike on Mike Lavinia. They face South River this year with Mike Lepore, who has 193 wins. They will take on Sayreville this year with Mike Novak, who has 180. As Reardon will come to the set, is 1-1. Swung on, and this is hit high in the air out to right field. Eric Vasquez going back. He's got room. And nope, he loses it over his head, and the runners will advance. I think Vasquez somewhere along the way just lost that. Maybe in the sun, just lost that as when it went over his head. And so the runners advance. That loads the bases. Like the sun is behind us here, behind the trees out here. But I don't know from his vantage point if he can see out there. So Lavinia will give him a single. The bases are loaded. And 1 out for the Blue Jays. Their cleanup hitter is up in the form of Andrew Pallara. Reardon's first pitch pops out of the glove of Andrew Tan. They'll try to get a play at the plate here. No. Schweier slides in safely under the tag of Reardon. And Middlesex is on the board. I had to turn my sound down for a minute. Maybe the dust is just getting to me. But Reardon's first pitch to Pallara, and the ball squirted past the glove of Tan towards the backstop. Schweier comes home and slides in under the tag on the passed ball. So Middlesex is on the board. The Raiders now lead it 8-1. Jared Venuto heads down to third. Mike Lavinia at second. It's a ball and no strikes on Pallara, who singled his first time up. So the Blue Jays trying to get a rally going. Here in the bottom of the third. Eric Reardon at the set. And his next pitch. Fastball high, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. And Pallara is a senior. So Eric Reardon will come to the set. And his 2-0 pitch. Fastball at the knees for a called strike. Count now at 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. Middlesex has 4 hits on the afternoon, all singles. Reardon at the set. Next pitch. Fastball missing high. Ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike on Andrew Pollara. Nick DiMaggio is on deck for Middlesex. And so Reardon at the set, and it's 3-1. Swung on, and this is grounded up the middle. Diaz can't get it. Base hit. Coming in to score is Venutolo. The throw comes in to Shear behind the mound. Andrew Pollara with an RBI single. It is now 8-2 Raiders. Well, this is where the Achilles for the Raiders has come in. No need to panic yet. Lavinia heads down to third. Nick DiMaggio is the hitter. So runners at first and third for the Blue Jays. Reardon with his pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. DiMaggio popped out to second his first time up. Nick DiMaggio, a right-hand batter. Reardon will come to the set. His next pitch. Fastball just missed low. 1 ball and 1 strike now on Nick DiMaggio. So runners lead off of first and third here. Reardon will come to the set. His next pitch. And that one, this is inside. 2 balls and a strike. To the Blue Jays trying to come back here from an 8-0 deficit. It's now 8-2. Reardon at the set. And his next pitch. Fastball in the dirt, stopped by Tan. 3 balls and 1 strike now on Nick DiMaggio. So Eric now has lost a little bit of that command around the strike zone. Runners take their lead. The 3-1. Fastball up and away. Ball 4. That one was not close, and the bases are loaded. Pollara moves down to second. DiMaggio on first. That is the first walk of the afternoon for Eric Reardon. The bases are loaded for the Blue Jays with only 1 out in the inning. I'm sorry, 2. Wait a minute. Scoreboard, never mind. See, I messed this up before. 1 out in the inning. First pitch gets past Tan as Alojo is at the plate. Lavinia will score. No throw. So Lavinia scores. It's now 8-3. Pollara moves down to third. Ryan Lillis is going to go out to the mound here. Coach Lillis is in a walking boot on his left foot and ankle there. So the last thing he wants to do is have to walk to the mound, but he's trying to settle his guys down here. Pollara moves to third. Nick DiMaggio heads down to second on the pass ball. So here comes the Blue Jays. Brandon Alojo grounded out to first his first time up. He's ahead in the count 1-0 here with the bases loaded. Well, they were loaded, I should say. But a run has come in on the pass ball, so runners are second and third. One and 0 on Alojo. Middlesex now with 3 runs in. Reardon at the set. And his next pitch. Fastball missing low. 2 balls and no strikes. So the Blue Jays trying to turn the tables here on the Raiders. Pollara leads off third. DiMaggio on second. Reardon at the set. His next pitch. Swing and a miss. Pitch in the dirt. Trickles away from Tan, but not far enough for the runners to advance. 2 balls and a strike on Brandon Alojo. So Reardon trying to get his way out of this third inning. Will come to the set with his 2-1 pitch. Fastball way up high. Tan out of the crouch. 3 balls and a strike. Now the count at 3-1. The shade is over third base, but the sun is still out over at first. As Reardon with the 3-1 swung on and fouled back. Count now full at 3-2. I was saying before, I had mentioned the 4 coaches that the Raiders would be facing this year. To continue on that list, Dave Marzano or J.P. Stevens with 160 wins. He's on there. The Raiders face him this year. Anthony Guida of South Plainfield has 145. The Raiders see him twice. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. And that is the second out of the inning. A much-needed strikeout for Eric Reardon. His third of the game. 2 out. And James Esposito will come to the plate. Esposito flied out to right his first time up. 2 in scoring position for the Blue Jays. Reardon at the set. And his pitch. Fastball missing low, ball 1. And Reardon not getting that call anymore with the low pitch. A couple of innings ago, that pitch was a strike. But Reardon will come to the set. And his next pitch is going to be at the knees for a called strike. 1-1 on James Esposito. Andrew Pollara is at third. Nick DiMaggio at second. 3 runs in for the Blue Jays. 2 on and 2 out. Reardon with his next pitch. Swing and a miss. Count at 1-2 on James Esposito. North Brunswick 8, Middlesex 3. And now time is called. So here we go. 1-2 on Esposito. Runners take their lead off of second and third. Reardon will come to the set. And his next pitch. Fastball swung, grounded, left side. Garcia on the short hop. Throws to first. Diving into first base is Esposito, but he's out. Side retired. Esposito tried a head-first dive into first base. But Garcia able to get the throw over there to get him for the out. And Middlesex will have to settle for the 3 runs. For the Blue Jays, 3 runs on 4 hits. There were no errors and 2 men left. End of 3 now here in Middlesex. North Brunswick 8, Middlesex 3. We'll break. We'll be back with North Brunswick Raiders baseball on the King James Radio Network. We come back to Raiders baseball on the King James Radio Network. Top of the 4th inning. We go. North Brunswick 8, Middlesex 3. Roger Gomez, 5, 6, and 7 in the order for the Raiders, will be up first. Gomez is 1 for 1. He has singled and walked. Has 2 runs scored. First pitch from Zach Adams. Misses low for ball 1. So Adams, who came in relief in the second inning, fastball at the knees for a strike to Gomez. And it's 1-1. So a ball and a strike. Next pitch. Swing and a miss. Now 1-2 on Gomez. So 1 ball and 2 strikes on Roger Gomez. Adams at the set. His next pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. And Lavinia trying everything he can do to keep that in front of him. There's nobody on base. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Adams will come to the set here. And is 2-2 to Gomez. In the dirt. Ball 3. Count now at 3-2. Just to finish up that list from the last inning about the coaches that the Raiders will face, we talked about Anthony Guida. The Raiders will see him twice. 145 career wins for Coach Guida. Lou Urbano of Woodbridge, 103 wins. Swing and a miss on the fastball, on the breaking ball. On the 2-2 pitch to Gomez for strike 3. And that is the first out of the inning. So Adams gets the strikeout there. His second, 1 out. And first pitch swung on by Neil Gaeta, foul coming back towards this way. No balls and a strike over the Raider dugout. Gaeta flied out to left, and he has walked. So officially 0 for 1. Zach Adams at the set, and his next pitch, fastball swung, and this is hit out to left field, and it's going to drop for a base hit. An opposite field single for Neil Gaeta. He's on first. And that'll bring up Justin Garcia. Justin is 1 for 2. He has singled and struck out. Justin, the right-hand batter. And first pitch from Adams, going to be at the belt for a called strike. 0-1. So Gator will lead off first. You hear the wind, but not very significant. Next pitch. That's a breaking ball that drops in for strike 2. So Garcia in the hole again at 0-2, just as he was in his previous at-bat. No balls and 2 strikes. So Adams at the set is 0-2. Swung on, and this is line over the shortstop into left center field for a base hit. So Garcia gets a single, his second of the day. Gaeta stops at second. So the Raiders have 2 on and 1 out, and Felix Diaz at the plate. Diaz has walked both times up. That is the 7th hit of the day for North Brunswick. As Adams with his first pitch, fastball at the knees for a called strike. 0-1 on Diaz. So Adams will come to the set here. And is 0-1. This is swung on and hit high in the air out to right center field. And calling for it is Mike Schweier. He makes the catch for the out. The runners will hold. So now 2 away. And that'll bring up Christian Petrillo. Chich is 1 for 1. A 2-run single back in the first. Was hit by a pitch his last time up. So Chich, a right-hand batter. Runners will take their lead. First pitch from Adams is fastball just missing. Maybe a little outside, ball 1. Hard to see from where I'm at here on the third base side if that pitch is outside or what have you. Time is called. The home plate umpire steps out. Might have gotten some dirt in the eye or whatever, or he maybe just wants to brush off on plates. But either way, a ball and no strikes on Christian Petrillo. Outfield shaded towards left for the Blue Jays. Adams with his 1-0. Swung on, and this is hit out to left center field, and it's going to go in the gap, and it's going to roll towards the fence. Rounding third is Gaeta. He will score. Stopping at third is Garcia. Chich Petrillo. And the Raiders lead it now by a score of 9-3. With a runner on second and third, runners on second and third, Tyler Petrillo at the plate. First pitch, breaking ball at the knees for strike 1. Tyler is 2 for 3, 2 singles, an RBI. He's also flied out to left. So the Raiders, tacking on here, which is huge. As this one is in the dirt, stopped by Lavinia. 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, we're referencing back to our pregame segment we had with Ryan Lillis. When you have a big lead and the other team starts to chip away at it, like Middlesex has done, you got to try to stay on track. Next pitch, swung on. This one is grounded left side in the hole over to short. Venetolo has it, and he'll throw over to first. Venutolo, rather. Throws to first, and they call him outside retired. Venutolo throws it over to first. Ryan Lewis is going to argue this one, as it was a very close play at first base on Tyler Petrillo. And so the call will stand, and that will end the top of the fourth, but not before the Raiders do get another run across the board. 1 run on 3 hits. There were no errors and 2 men left. Middle of the fourth now here at Middlesex. It is North Brunswick 8, Middlesex 3. We'll break. We'll come back with Raiders baseball on the King James Radio Network. Bottom of the fourth here in Middlesex, New Jersey. And it is North Brunswick with the 9-3 lead over the Blue Jays. It'll be 8-9-1 in the batting order for Middlesex. By the way, I meant to say last inning, we'll have Lady Raiders softball coming up tomorrow morning. Opening day will be over at Raiders Field in North Brunswick, and the Lady Raiders take on Colonia. North Brunswick will look for their first win on opening day since 2010. 10 a.m. first pitch, 9:30 is Raiders Live. First pitch, fastball missing high for ball one to Jack Nalisha. Nalisha grounded out to short his first time up. Eric Bearden will go into the line, and his next pitch swung on and hit foul right side heading towards the bleachers. Nice catch. Nice catch there in the top row. So a ball and a strike on Nalisha. Again, 8-9-1 due up for the Blue Jays. As Eric Reardon goes into the line, and his next pitch swung on and fouled back. So now Jack Nalisha down in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the count at 1-2. Of course, we'll be with you all season long with Raiders baseball. Reardon's next pitch swung, grounded, foul down the right field line. And the count stays at 1-2. The Raiders will have Holy Spirit next tomorrow morning. And then they will head to South Plainfield. And then they will come home to face South Plainfield in the back end of a home and home. As next pitch swung on and missed. It's in the dirt. Tan has to pick it up, throw it down to first to get Nalisha for the strikeout. Score it 2-3. 1 out here in the fourth. Strikeout number 4 for Eric Reardon. 1 out. And Mike Schweier will come to the plate. Schweier singled his first time up. Reardon's first pitch. Fastball on the inside corner. No balls and a strike. So Eric Reardon into the line is 0-1. Fastball is at the knees. Strike 2. Schweier now down in the count 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Reardon's next pitch. Fastball misses high. Count now 1-2. Yeah, Bishop R won the GMC Blue Division last year with a 10-2 divisional record. They finished 16-7 overall. Reardon with his next pitch. Fastball up and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Mike Schweier. Carteret came in second place. 3 games behind Bishop R. And Reardon with his next pitch. Swung on, and this is hit high in the air out to right center field. Christian Petrillo drifts over. He makes the catch for the second out. So 2 away. And that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Jared Venutolo. Venutolo is 1 for 2. He has singled and struck out. Right-hand batter. Against the lefty, Eric Reardon. Go into the line. First pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1. Leah Carteret and Spotswood, I should say, tied for second place. Actually, no, South River was in second place. Next pitch. And that one misses low. 1 ball and 1 strike. South River finished in second place in the blue at 8-4 in the division. And then Carteret and Spotswood tied for third. Middlesex came in fourth as this one is swung on and hit out to left center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Christian Petrillo will field to hold Venutolo to a single. Jared Venutolo with his second hit of the day. So a runner on first, 2 out for the Blue Jays. And that'll bring up Tyler Diamond. Diamond is 1 for 2. He has singled and struck out. Right-hand batter, Eric Reardon with his first pitch. Swing and a miss, fastball. 0-1. The Blue Jays now have 6 hits on the afternoon. Venuto leading off first. Reardon's next pitch. Fastball high, ball 1. 1-1 on Tyler Diamond. Venuto is a guy that he can bunt for a base hit. He can steal second and third. So the Raiders do have to keep an eye on him. Here he goes. They got him picked off. Throw over to Shear at first. Now throw down to second. And time is called. Do we get a balk? Apparently we did. So apparently we got a balk on Reardon. So no stolen base. It'll be a balk. So the count 1-1 on Diamond. Venuto going on second. Again, you got to watch the steal here. Next pitch. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Although, I will say this. Down by 5 runs with 2 outs. If you're going to try to steal third, you better make it. Reardon at the set. Long look at second, and his 1-2 to Diamond. Fastball high, goes over Tan to the backstop, and, well, Venuto won't have to steal third. He gets there easily on the wild pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Tyler Diamond. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the last of the 4th. North Brunswick 9, Middlesex 3. Reardon with his next pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Side retired. 5th strikeout for Eric Reardon. And that'll take care of business in the 4th. For the Blue Jays, no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 man left. End of 4. Now here in Middlesex on opening day. And the North Brunswick Raiders lead it over the Middlesex Blue Jays by a score of 9-3. We will break, and we'll be back with North Brunswick Raiders baseball on the King James Radio Network. We go to the top of the 5th inning here on opening day of the 2016 high school baseball season. This is our 5th season of North Brunswick Raiders baseball on the King James Radio Network at jamesisking.com. 2, 3, and 4 due up in the batting order for the Raiders. Andrew Tan is up. Zach Adams back out for Middlesex, and his first pitch to Tan, swing and a miss for strike 1. Andrew Tan, 2 walks, and he's also popped out to short. Tan, a right-hand batter. And Zach Adams with his next pitch. Fastball low. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Adams with his next pitch. Swung on this one. Grounded left side. Foul down the third base line. Ball and 2 strikes now on Andrew Tan. So it doesn't look like we're going to see Michael Donald today. Again, he was tied up in the hospital with his 1-year-old son Shane, who's again fighting cancer. And you know, he has a GoFundMe page, which I was going to ask him about. But the hashtag on social media is hashtag Shane Strong, S-H-A-N-E, Shane Strong. You can look it up there. And into the wind is Adams. His next pitch is in the dirt to Tan. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. So, again, Andrew Tan. And you know, all 3 of the freshmen today, thus far, you know, have contributed something here to the Raiders, as this one is swung on and popped up in the infield, left side. And this will be Venuto making the catch. So Jared Venuto makes that catch, and that'll be 1 out. Eric Reardon will come to the plate. Reardon hit by pitch, flied out to center, and grounded out to first. Eric, a right-hand batter. So Zach Adams with his pitch. Curveball outside for ball 1. So Reardon, who has 10 varsity home runs in his career. Next pitch, fastball missing outside. 2 balls and no strikes on Eric Reardon. Hit 7 homers last year. Drove in 25 hits. Adams' next pitch. This one is a fastball missing low, ball 3. So Reardon ahead in the count at 3 balls and no strikes. The shade is now covering the infield pretty much. 3-0. And Reardon taking all the way. It's outside, ball 4. 4-pitch walk for Reardon. So he is on first with 1 out. And Jesse Shear will come to the plate. Jesse looking for his first hit of the season. He's 0 for 3 thus far. Struck out looking, grounded out to second, and flied out to left. Shear, a left-hand batter. Reardon taking about a good 2.5, 3-step lead off first. Fastball at the knees for a called strike to Shear, 0-1. Again, last year, Jesse drove in 12 runs, was a big part of that lineup. Adams at the set is 0-1. Swung on, this is line right field, and right at the right fielder. Going to throw over to first, a double off Reardon goes wide. Nick DiMaggio making the catch out in right field going towards the line. He came over, actually I shouldn't say right at him, but he did have to run a few steps towards the right field line, but he made the catch and almost doubled off Reardon. But Eric gets back. So Shear hit it hard. But there's 2 outs. And Roger Gomez at the plate. Gomez drove in 2 runs with an RBI single as he swings and grounds this one off of the third baseman, Brandon Elojo. And this will be an infield hit. Elojo trying to make the diving stop. But it goes past him and trickles away. So an infield hit for Gomez. Eric Reardon down at second now. Runners at first and second for the Raiders. 2 out. Neil Gaeta at the plate. Gaeta is 1 for 2. He is singled and flied out to left and walked. First pitch. Fastball low. Ball 1. So the runners will take their lead here off of first and second. Adams at the set. And his next pitch, swung on, this one is grounded right side over to second base. And Alicia has it, throws to first. In time, side retired. So, the Raiders threaten, but do not score in the 5th. For North Brunswick, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left. 4.5 done here on opening day in Middlesex. North Brunswick leads it by a score of 9-3. We'll be back on the King James Radio Network.
This is James Thompson. On behalf of my crazy dad, we celebrate 5 years on the King James Radio Network.
Back here to Middlesex, New Jersey. Corbett Thompson at jamesisking.com. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. North Brunswick 9, Middlesex 3 on opening day. The Raiders scored 7 runs in the top of the first and thus far been able to make it stick. 7 in the first, 1 in the second, and 1 more in the fourth. Middlesex countered with 3 in the bottom of the third against Eric Reardon. But Eric's back out for inning number 5. He'll face the heart of the Blue Jays batting order, Mike Lavinia up first. Now, Middlesex, of course, without, as Reardon with his first pitch here to Lavinia, he swings and fouls it back. Look out, right at that truck there. Ooh, somehow he missed it, right at that pickup truck. And somehow missed that truck. 0-1. Lavinia's 1 for 2. He is singled and flied out to center. And Reardon with his next pitch is in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. I was about to say Middlesex playing without Matt Caravellano today, who is a junior who hit 7 home runs last year for the Blue Jays. He is injured. So Caravellano sitting this one out. It was Lavinia and Caravellano that hit back-to-back home runs against North Brunswick last year. So Reardon into the line, and is 1-1. Swung on and fouled back. Count goes to 1-2 now on Mike Lavinia. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. The sun is now behind the clouds. Reardon with his next pitch, and that one is a fastball missing high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And you would suspect that the Raiders, as the 2-2 from Reardon swung on, and this is going to be hit out to center field over the head of Christian Petrillo heading toward the fence. Lavinia's at second. We'll see if he stops there. He does. Petrillo misjudging that a little bit, and it goes over his head. Lavinia has himself a leadoff double. And so the Blue Jays have a runner on second. And Andrew Pallara will come up. He is 2 for 2 with 2 singles. And you heard Ryan Lillis in our pregame show talk about, specifically with the freshmen, that, listen, guys, they're going to make mistakes. It's part of the deal. As Reardon's first pitch, swing and a miss. No balls and a strike. This is Chich's first varsity game, along with Felix Diaz, who's playing second base. Andrew Tan behind the plate. Andrew's had a couple of pass balls thus far. These are some of the growing pains that you go through as freshmen. As Reardon with his next pitch, fastball just missed. Ball 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. I'm not even sure where that missed, but a ball and a strike on Pallara. There was a pitch low, borderline strike down in the zone, or out of the zone. Reardon into the line. Here's 1-1. Fastball chopped on the ground. Reardon fields off the mound to his right, throws to first in time to get the out. Holding at second is Lavinia. No courtesy runner for Mike. 1 out. And that'll bring up Nick DiMaggio. DiMaggio 0 for 1 with a walk. As Reardon will go into the line here, and his first pitch, fastball missing low for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes. Reardon will come to the set here. And it's 1-0. Fastball is missing inside. 2 balls and no strikes now on Nick DiMaggio. So Eric will try to shut down any hope for Middlesex here. As Reardon will come to the set with a 9-3 lead. Next pitch, fastball missing inside, ball 3. So DiMaggio ahead in the count, 3 balls and no strikes. So Reardon now at the set. And it's 3-0. That one drops in for a called strike. Now the count at 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Mike Lavinia leading off second with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Reardon will come to the set. And it's 3-1. Fastball high, ball 4. So the walk to DiMaggio. Second walk of the day for Reardon. First and second, 1 out. Brandon Alojo at the plate. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out to first and struck out. Right-hand batter. And so Reardon will come to the set. His first pitch swung on and sliced foul over the bleachers on the first base side and out of play. No balls and a strike on Alojo. So Eric Reardon will come to the set here. Runners on first and second for the Blue Jays. We got some movement around the infield as he squares the bunt, he does, and he drops it down third base side. Reardon fields, throws to first to get the out there. Lavinia goes to third. The runners advance. Alojo gets the sacrifice. So Middlesex playing a little small ball there. Runners now at second and third with 2 out. And James Esposito at the plate. He's 0 for 2. He's flied out to right and grounded to short. Esposito, a right-hand batter. The lefty Reardon, first pitch, fastball outside, ball 1. Yeah, Mike Lavinia and Matt Caravellano hit back-to-back home runs against the Raiders in the 6th inning last year on opening day. Reardon's next pitch, fastball missing up and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Hit those home runs off of Stephen Bloyd. Eric Reardon came in and polished things off for the Raiders in relief. And next pitch, fastball missing low. 3 balls and no strikes. Lavinia and Caravallano homered to tie the game. And then North Brunswick scored 2 in the bottom of the 6th, which made Eric Reardon the winning pitcher that day. So Reardon at the set here on 3-0 to Esposito. And his pitch, Esposito takes all the way, fastball at the knees. 3 balls and a strike. Mike Lavinia is at third base. Nick DiMaggio is at second. With the count 3-1 on James Esposito, Eric Reardon into the line. It's 3-1. Swung on, and this is line in the left center field. Petrillo will go over, but doesn't get it. It's a base hit. Lavinia scores. Coming in to score is DiMaggio. The throw comes in to Shear. No throw to the plate. A 2 RBI single with 2 outs for James Esposito. And that puts Middlesex right back in the game. It is now 9-5. Raiders with the lead. Ryan Lillis will come to the mound here. Then he's got that walking boot on his left foot there, so, he doesn't want to have to take too many steps. But he will leave Eric Reardon in here. So Coach Lillis staying with his number 1 pitcher. James Esposito is on first. And Jack Nalisha will come to the plate. Nalisha is 0 for 2. He is grounded out to short, and he's also struck out. So Nalisha's on first. I'm sorry, Nalisha's at the plate. I'm trying to see if we got a courtesy runner at first. Or a pinch runner for Esposito, rather. But Reardon's first pitch, fastball misses low, ball 1. No, I don't think so. I believe that's Esposito on first. Because I saw the umpire taking out his lineup card. I guess he thought Ryan Lillis was going to change pitchers, but he did not. And next pitch, swing and a ground ball past Reardon up the middle. Garcia plays it, bobbles it, and no play. Garcia, it was just basically a smooth hop, and Garcia kind of almost rolled up on him, and he bobbled it, and behind the bag, no play. Everybody's safe. Here comes Ryan Lillis, and I think that might be it for Eric Reardon here. And yep, Ryan Lillis is going to take the baseball, and that'll be it for Reardon. So the E6, the first error of the day for the Raiders. Middlesex with runners at first and second, and 2 out. Jesse Shear will come on to pitch. And so we'll take a break here. And when we come back, we'll reset the defense for you. As Middlesex has found their way back into this game with 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th. It's North Brunswick 9, Middlesex 5 in the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll take a break. We'll come back with North Brunswick Raiders baseball on the King James Radio Network. We come back to Raiders baseball on the King James Radio Network as we are in the bottom of the 5th inning. Middlesex trying to rally here. 9-5 is your score. Raiders lead it. New pitcher in the game is Jesse Shear. Shear in his senior year last year on the mound. Jesse was 2-0 with a 3.75 ERA, 9 1/3 innings pitched, 10 hits, 5 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Shear picked up wins in back-to-back games last year. Got his first varsity win, and then the next game got his second. So Shear with his first pitch here, and it's a fastball missing up high to Mike Schweier for ball 1. Schweier is 1 for 2. He has singled and flied out to center. So Shear will come into the wind. And his next pitch, that one misses, at the belt for a called strike. And the count is at 1-1. The clouds have started to creep in here. So the count is at 1-1. So Shear at the set. Here's 1-1. Fastball just missed low. 2 balls and a strike on Mike Schweier. James Esposito was the runner at second. Jack Halisha is at first. Jesse Shear at the set. And his next pitch, swung on and fouled back. And the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes will reset the defense here for the Raiders. Basically, just a straight switch here. Eric Reardon now at first base, Jesse Shear on the mound, so a straight switch. Reardon will come, or check that Shear will come to the set. His next pitch, fastball laid off on the swing. No, he went around, strike 3. Side retired. So Shear gets the big out there, strikes out Schweier to end the 5th. For Middlesex, they scored 2 runs on 2 hits. There was 1 error and 2 men left. End of 5. And it's North Brunswick 9, Middlesex 5. Coming up here in the next inning, we'll have Mike O'Donnell on, the athletic director here at Middlesex. And we'll talk to him coming up in the 6th. But we'll break. We'll be back with Raiders Baseball on the King James Radio Network. We go now to the top half of the 6th inning as the Raiders lead at 9-5 over Middlesex. And so Mike O'Donnell will be with us here in just a second. Athletic director here from Middlesex, former baseball coach with the Blue Jays, and we'll talk to him as Justin Garcia will lead things off here in the 6th. Zach Adams with his first pitch, swung on, and this is grounded over to third base. And over there is Aloysius. He makes the play over to first. 1 out. So 1 pitch and 1 out here in the 6th. And again, 9-5 is your score. But again, Mike O'Donnell sits to my right. And so I know you were just getting back from the hospital there with your son Shane. After Felix Diaz comes up here, I'll ask you to explain exactly what his condition is and how it came about and things like that. But Zach Adams with his pitch, and Diaz swings and grounds this one in the hole left side for his first varsity hit. So Felix Diaz gets himself on the board, his first varsity base hit on the first pitch he sees from Zach Adams here in the top of the 6th. So Diaz is on first, and Christian Petrillo, the number 9 hitter for the Raiders, will come to the plate. Christian is 2 for 2, single, double, hit by a pitch, and a run scored, 2 RBIs, actually three RBIs. Right-hand batter here against Zach Adams. Diaz leads off first. First pitch to Petrillo is at the knees for a called strike. And again, Mike O'Donnell, athletic director here at Middlesex, is here. So tell us exactly what Shane's condition is. You sent me an email on it. Tell me what you tell everybody else what you told me.
Yeah, sure. First of all, thanks for having me.
Petrillo swings and hits this one out to center field, but arranging back is Mike Schweier. He makes the catch for the out. 2 out, so this might be a quick inning here. 2 out, runner on first, back to the top of the order, and Tyler Petrillo is at the plate. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Shane, he's got stage 4 neuroblastoma. His today we went back to the hospital for round 4 of chemotherapy. So there's 5 rounds. There's surgery in between this round and the 5th round, and then a long inpatient time where they kind of do radiation and everything else.
First pitch to Petrillo, swung on and popped out right side over at first base, and making almost an over-the-shoulder catch is Tyler Diamond over there at first base to end the inning. So we will get back to Mike O'Donnell and his son Shane and what they're going through right now as they try to beat cancer here with 1-year-old Shane O'Donnell. And so we'll take a break here, and we'll come back. For the Raiders, no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 man left. Middle of the 6th. Here on opening day, North Brunswick 9, Middlesex 5. We'll break. We'll come back with Raiders Baseball on the King James Radio Network. This week at Restoration Place with Pastor John Bazemore Jr., an appointment with destiny on Resurrection Sunday.
The appointment with destiny is going to happen. The things that God has planned for your life, they're going to happen regardless of how you feel about it.
Restoration Place is on the King James Radio Network at jamesisking.com. We come back here to Raiders Baseball on the King James Radio Network. Bottom of the 6th we go, as it is 9-5, North Brunswick over Middlesex here on opening day. And so Jesse Shear, who came in relief of Eric Reardon in the last inning, will stay on. It'll be top of the order here for the Blue Jays. Jared Venuto, Tyler Diamond, and Mike Lavinia are due up. Venuto is 2 for 3, 2 singles, has a run scored. Right-hand batter against Eric Reardon. Again, athletic director here for Middlesex, Mike O'Donnell, is with me. To my right, Jesse Shear into the line for North Brunswick. His first pitch is going to be at the belt for a called strike to Venuto, 0-1. Now, you were explaining before the third out there in the last inning about Shane's condition, so I'll let you finish on that.
Yeah, sure. So he's he right now, he's got we just went in for round 4 chemotherapy. There's 5 rounds. It's pretty standard operating procedure at this point. It's they just lay out a roadmap of what's going to go on, and that includes round 4 now, some surgery in about a week or two, and then round 5 about probably a month out, and then it's a long probably around the summertime. It's a long inpatient time where they do radiation and whatever else they have to do.
I'll let you finish the second. Shear missing with a couple of fastballs to make it 2-1. He comes back with a fastball at the belt, 2-2. He'll go into the line. His 2-2 pitch swung on and fouled back. So Jared Venuto staying in the bat at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and that that's really it. And it's just kind of when he goes in, he gets some chemotherapy. It usually causes some nausea, particularly in a little guy like him. And he comes home and we just try to fatten him up and then do it again. And it's important to put weight on him because it's it gives him a chance to upgrade the chemotherapy and raise the dosage. So that's really important. That's probably our most important job, medically right now is to just keep putting weight on him.
I'll interrupt you for a second. Shear's 2-2 pitch hit Venuto, grazed him on the thigh, so he's hit by the pitch. He goes to first, and Tyler Diamond at the plate. Shear's first pitch to him, fastball high for ball 1, so a ball and no strikes on Diamond. Runner on first for Middlesex, 9-5. North Brunswick leads here in the bottom of the 6th. Nobody out for the Blue Jays. Okay. I'll let you finish up there.
Yeah, I mean that's it. So he'll be in for a couple days, and then we'll get him home, and and we do it home. And sometimes home is his best medicine. He plays with his sister, and runs around and throws the ball around, and so that's it. It's been it's fun to have the whole family in one place at the same time. That's for sure.
Shearer with his fastball goes up high to Diamond, so he's behind in the count to Diamond. 2 balls and no strikes as the Blue Jays try to rally here in the 6th. And again, talking with former baseball coach here at Middlesex and athletic director Michael O'Donnell as Shearer with his next pitch, swing and a miss. 2 balls and a strike now on Diamond. When did you first learn about this, and how long did the education process take?
Long. We're still learning. Really, the symptoms really began around Christmas time. Basically changes in his face. And
2-1 pitch at the knees for a strike on a fastball, 2-2 on Diamond.
And neuroblastoma shows itself different in a lot of kids, but there's many things that are common. And because of the high rate of blood flow in the face, particularly the eyes, it's common that you get
Diamond swings and flies this to right. Eric Vasquez drifting back a couple of steps. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Jared Venuto holds it first. So 1 on, 1 out for the Blue Jays, and Mike Lavinia at the plate. Lavinia 2 for 3, single, double, 2 runs scored, right-handed batter.
Yeah, it's common that it shows up in and around the eyes, and his is spread to his brain, his spinal cord, his bone marrow, his pelvis, and where the main tumor generally is in a lot of children with neuroblastomas in the abdomen. And that was one we didn't see. But really just, it disguised itself because in a kid his age, he was approaching his first birthday, and we...
Shear comes in with a fastball in the inside corner. It's 1 ball and 1 strike to Mike Lavinia.
Yeah, and we really kind of missed it because we thought he was teething. Then he had ear infections when we went back to the doctor, and little things like that. He had 3 negative blood tests, so you think an easy answer is a blood test, but that didn't quite work either.
1-1 fastball to Lavinia, misses up high. Lavinia lays off on the swing. 2 balls and a strike. So you said you're still learning as you go here.
Yeah, sure. Each round we really don't even know where we're going with the next step until
2-1 is hit on a rope out to left field, but running back is Tyler Petrillo to make the catch toward the fence for the second out. So Lavinia hit it hard, but Petrillo positioned just right there to get it for the second out. Staying at first is Jared Venuto. So 2 out for the Blue Jays, and Andrew Pallara is at the plate. Pallara was 2 for 3, 2 singles, right-hand batter. So talking to Mike O'Donnell, athletic director here at Middlesex, about his 1-year-old son Shane. Go ahead.
Yeah, just it's just when we say we're going day by day, we are literally going day by day. It's you don't know what the next move is until you see what the response was to the prior move. So it's we've been lucky in that we've had such a tremendous amount of support from all over the place, really, and we've been on our rounds trying to thank everyone we can, from the articles Greg Tafar has written, to the people who have donated money, to the people who cooked for us, the people who just done little things around the house or what have you to help us out. And we've been lucky that our families have been really tremendous, and for me the district's been tremendous, because the in and out of the hospital and long stays in are really a lot of energy, and it's significant that people rally and try to help you. So
I'll stop you there. Shears behind in the count, 2-1 on Pallara as he swings at the next one. Fastball, 2 balls and 2 strikes as raindrops start to fall here in Middlesex. So hopefully we can get the rest of this game in. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Pallara. Runner on first for Middlesex. 2 out in the inning. 9-5 is your score. The Raiders lead. Jesse Shear will come to the set here. If we have time, we'll let Michael Donald finish here. As next pitch swung on and missed, strike 3, side retired. But we won't break here. We'll forego the break, and I'll let you finish up on Shane, and I'll ask you about the team.
Yeah, there's so that's really it. We just we're just grateful for all the support and all the kind words. It's been it's felt really good, and for sure the more people that know about it, we had no idea. We were in and out of doctors and hospitals for a couple of weeks trying to figure out what's wrong with them. So you put something like that on someone's radar, maybe the next kid doesn't get missed, and maybe Shane helps somebody in that way. I think that's important.
Let me ask you a couple of questions about the team here.
Yeah.
These guys, defending Central Jersey Group 1 champions, and they were down 7-0 in this game,
Sure.
and they haven't quit. You coach these guys. I guess what's the thing that led them to a championship last year?
We had a tremendous core. We really did. We had a tremendous core last year. And
you guys lost the first 5 games, right?
Well, they were 2-11 last year.
Ooh.
So they got off to a really rough start. And it was a good core. I had them through the summer and felt pretty good about how next year could go. And Coach Nastasi was a natural, adjustment. Not a whole lot had to change. He'd done a great job with our JV program, so he was a natural fit right there. And I think just the kids adapting a little bit to his style, and really we just.
Andrew Tan is up to lead off the 7th rather, for the Raiders as he swings and grounds a 1-0 pitch foul down the left field line. So it's a ball and a strike on Tan. Zach Adams back out here for the 7th inning. Go ahead.
And kind of tying into this year, experience is really a huge factor. And last year, our top we had 2 tremendous pitchers at the top of the staff, and they were very inexperienced. And once they kind of got it going, because they both got off to real slow starts. Defensively, they struggled last year, and it was a little bit of the inexperience.
1-2 curveball to Tan goes past Lavinia to the backstop. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Andrew Tan.
And this team here is very similar, because basically the top 3 starters are sophomores. We got a freshman shortstop. We got sophomore at second base. We got a sophomore at first base. We got sophomore in center, sophomore in left. So you're talking about a really, really young team.
Tan takes a fastball at the knees for strike 3, so a called third strike. So Adams gets the strikeout there to start the inning, his 3rd strikeout of the afternoon. 1 out here in the 7th, and Eric Reardon will come to the plate.
Good. And then Matt Carvellano, who's a all-county player, is we find out this morning he's recovering from a concussion and he's gonna have to go through the protocol. So he's out, and that changes things. That puts another young body out there, but they make do. So I like the way they've battled against North Brunswick and Reardon here, because he's a talented kid.
Curveball misses outside to Reardon, so Eric's ahead in the count at 2-0.
And it's a tough North Brunswick team. I used to play with Ryan, so I got a ton of respect for Ryan and what he does with the program. Coach Lillis is top of the line, as far as I'm concerned. So he's always got his kids prepared, and they and they play hard for him. He's got a lot of kids that run through the wall for him.
Reardon takes a 3-0 fastball at the knees for a called strike, so it's 3 balls and a strike on Eric Reardon. And again, talking with Middlesex Athletic Director, former baseball coach Michael Donohue. Reardon swings at a fastball and grounds it back towards the Blue Jays dugout, so the count now at 3-2. You lose Stuart Lester. You lose Tristan O'Connor, who I thought pitched very well in the opener last year against North Brunswick, as Reardon swings and misses at the next one here for strike 3, and that will be the second out. So back-to-back strikeouts here for Zach Adams here in the 7th, keeping his team in the game, as Tristan O'Connor did last year. He did the same thing. He kept Middlesex in the game. Jesse Shear at the plate with 2 out. So before the inning ends here, I'll ask you to I know you have a GoFundMe page set up for Shane. Tell everybody how they can reach, and if they want to donate or contribute.
Yeah, really, Greg Tafar has done a pretty good job spreading the word. He's put together a couple articles, but really, if you just Google GoFundMe, and Baby Shane, I think it's under. It's just something my wife's friend had set up. Unbeknownst to us early on in the process, you're kind of, when you get that kind of news, about your 1-year-old, you're kind of dumbfounded. You don't really know where to go. So, it's people, pitching in and doing things like that to help and it makes a world of difference. It takes a little stress off of, some of the other.
Shear grounds one to first, down the first base line, takes a bad hop there against Tyler Diamond and heads down the right field line. So a bad hop base hit for Jesse Shear. So he is on first with 2 out, and that'll bring up Roger Gomez. Gomez, busy day at the plate. He's got 2 RBIs. He's got 2 singles, walk, and a couple of runs scored. Go ahead.
Yeah, just things like that to take, a little pressure off, a little strain off while you're trying to, nurse him back to health.
Gomez swings and pops this up a mile high in the infield. Let's see who calls for it. And coming in to get it is the left fielder, James Esposito. He makes the catch, side retired. So you were saying that you could just, look up, you could Google it or what have you, Baby Shane.
That's the best way to get there. If you're interested, that's the best way. I think Greg Tafar connected it to all the preseason capsules for all the GMC teams.
Yep. I saw the video. Yep.
Yeah,
yep. So that sounds good. Hashtag Shane Strong, Hashtag Shane Strong, SHANE, Shane Strong on social media, on Twitter, on what have you. And again, Michael Donnell, nice enough to stop by here for a few. He's just coming back from the hospital, attending to his 1-year-old son, Shane, who is fighting cancer right now. So, Coach, I appreciate you coming out here, and good luck to you guys going forward. And like I said, I know last year started rough, but you guys bounced back. So, good luck to you guys, and thanks again for the time.
Oh no, thank you. Thanks for spreading the word. We appreciate it, and just keep praying for Shane, and we'll have him around here playing ball in no time.
Hey, absolutely. Thank you. Thanks so much.
I appreciate it.
All right. Nice to see you. All right. Michael Donnell, take that, Michael Donnell. And nice enough to stop by here. So we go to the bottom of the 7th. No break. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th here. And you got it. And so the Raiders will try to finish this one out. They lead it by a score of 9-5 over the Middlesex Blue Jays. And so for the Blue Jays, it will be 5, 6, and 7 in the batting order. Nick DiMaggio, Brandon Elojo, and James Esposito are due up against Jesse Shear, who will try to lock down his first varsity save. So a lot of firsts today. Chich Petrillo getting his first hits and RBIs. Felix Diaz getting his first hit. Andrew Tan, well, he'll, if the score holds up, Andrew Tan will have to wait until tomorrow. But Jesse Shear back out on the mound. Nick DiMaggio up first. Raiders lead at 9-5. Jesse Shear with his first pitch. Fastball misses high, ball one. And actually, let me see. Actually, technically, this won't be a save for Shear. Next one misses high, ball two, because he has not pitched 3 innings. And he did not come in with a 3-run lead or less. Next pitch by Shear, fastball high, ball 3. So 3-0 on DiMaggio. Shear came in with 2 out in the 5th. So Eric Reardon went the first 4 2/3. Fastball at the knees for a called strike. 3-1 on Nick DiMaggio. So again, you heard from Mike O'Donnell, athletic director here at Middlesex, about Shane, and so of course we wish the O'Donnell family all the best. 3 balls and a strike here on Nick DiMaggio. So Jesse Shear into the line is 3-1, and that one is at the belt for a called strike. So the count now full at 3-2. So the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jesse Shear into the line is 3-2. And laying off, missing low, ball 4. DiMaggio laid off of that pitch, and so he is now on first. Middlesex still has a ways to go before the tying run can come to the plate, and it looks like we're going to get a pinch hitter here. Justin Nastasi will pull out his lineup card, and he'll bring in a pinch hitter. So pinch hitter for Middlesex is number 15, sophomore first baseman and DH Mike Salerno. So Salerno will pinch hit for Brandon Elojo. And the raindrops have started again. Salerno hit at .247 last year, 22 hits, 16 RBIs. First pitch from Shear, fastball high, ball 1. So yeah, Eric Reardon pitched the first 4 2/3. And so Shear into the line, his next pitch, and that one just missing low, 2 balls and no strikes. So with no out here in the 7th, Shear's pitched an inning in the 3rd. Next pitch, fastball at the knees for a called strike, and that's 2-1. I'm hoping the Shear can finish this thing up before the rain hits. 2 balls and a strike. Nick DiMaggio leads off first. Shear with the 2-1. Swung on, this is grounded hard, left side, base hit. Stopping at second is DiMaggio. And a pinch hit for Mike Salerno. Puts runners at first and second. A pinch hit single. Ryan Lewis is going to come out to the mound here, and it looks like he's going to make a pitching change. So Ryan Lewis, I think he's going to bring in Eric Vasquez. Or is it Diaz? We're going to get all kinds of changes here in the infield. And Eric Vasquez coming in from right. So let's see. It looks like Felix Diaz will take the hill here in his first varsity appearance. So Felix Diaz will be in. It is 9-5. Diaz comes in with 2 on. The tying run is on deck, which means that this will be a save situation for Felix Diaz. So Felix Diaz in his first appearance will look for his first varsity save. We'll take a break. We'll come back. North Brunswick 9, Middlesex 5. We'll break. We'll be back with Raiders baseball on the King James Radio Network. So here we go. Bottom of the 7th inning. Felix Diaz in his varsity debut will look for his first varsity save. Since the tying run is on deck here, that will qualify as a save opportunity. The Raiders lead at 9-5. here against the Middlesex Blue Jays on opening day. Felix Diaz, right from Linwood Middle School, right to varsity. So Felix is a right-hander, throws hard. The one thing he's got to stay away from is the home run ball. Now, Middlesex has the bottom of the order up, so you would not expect a long ball here. However, stranger things have happened. Eric Vasquez is going to start to warm up here behind the North Brunswick dugout just in case. So here's James Esposito, who is 1 for 3. He singled and drove in 2 his last time up. Esposito, a right-hand batter. Diaz comes to the set, and his first pitch. Fastball misses high, ball 1. A ball and no strikes. So Diaz will try to close the door here for the Raiders and get them their first win of the year. Diaz will come to the set. His next pitch, fastball high, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Eric Reardon pitched the first 4 2/3. Jesse Shear pitched the next inning and a third. And now Diaz. He's at the set. And his 2-0 to Esposito. Fastball swung on and fouled straight back. Tan won't have a play. Goes behind the backstop. 2 balls and a strike. So let's reset the defense here. Eric Reardon is at first base. Now over at second base is Neil Gaeta. Justin Garcia at short, Roger Gomez at third. We'll get you to the outfield in a minute as coming to the set here is Diaz. His next pitch to Esposito. Fastball ducking out of the way. It's high. Ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Tyler Petrillo remains in left. Christian Petrillo still in center. Jesse Shear goes back to his normal position in right. Eric Reardon, again, who started this game at first base. Andrew Tan behind the plate. Diaz behind 3-1 on Esposito. His next pitch. Fastball is in there for a called strike. Count at 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runners at first and second for the Blue Jays. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. North Brunswick 9, Middlesex 5 on opening day. Diaz comes to the set. And his next pitch. Fastball in there, called strike 3 for the first out. And that's the first varsity strikeout for Felix Diaz. 1 out. And that'll bring up Jack Nalisha. Nalisha is 0 for 3. Reached on an error his last time up. Right-hand batter. Diaz with his pitch. Swung on, this is hit out to center field, and it's going to go over Gaeta into center field for a base hit. Petrillo gets the throw into Reardon, who cuts it off at the pitcher's mound. But everybody moves up a base. The bases are loaded for the Blue Jays. And that's going to bring the tying run to the plate. Mike Schweier will step in here. Schweier is 1 for 3. He has singled, and he's also flied out to center and struck out. Looks like the rain has stopped, at least for now. Hopefully it stays that way. Diaz will come to the set here. And his first pitch to Schweier in the dirt. Nice backhand stop by Andrew Tan, ball 1. So the count at 1-0. Eric Vasquez continues to throw here behind the North Brunswick dugout. So Diaz will go into the line with his next pitch. Fastball at the belt for a called strike. Count 1-1 now on Mike Schweier. So after the Raiders built a 7-0 lead, the Blue Jays have made it very interesting here in the 7th. Diaz with his next pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded, left side, slow roller. Garcia gloves it, throws to first. Reardon with the stretch in time for the out. A run does score. But the Raiders need outs right now. Crossing the plate is Nick DiMaggio. Everybody else moves up. Salerno to third. Alicia to second. 2 out. So the Blue Jays have 1 out left. And Jared Venutolo will be the hitter. Venutolo is 2 for 3. 2 singles, hit by a pitch, and a run scored. Venutolo, right-hand batter. And Diaz into the line. His first pitch, fastball low, ball 1. So the Raiders trying to get their first win of the season. Ryan Lillis has a 5-6 record on opening day in his first 11 years. Trying to make it even. As Diaz with his next pitch. Fastball in the dirt. Gets away from Tan a little bit, but no advance. 2 balls and no strikes. Mike Lavinia, who homered against the Raiders last year, is 2 hitters away. He is their big power threat, especially with Matt Caravano out of the lineup. So Felix Diaz, the freshman, into the line. His 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Count it 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. And what was started out as a very sunny day is now a completely cloudy cover here in Middlesex. The raindrops have stopped. Diaz into the line. His 2-1 in the dirt. Stopped by Tan, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. The Blue Jays have a run in here. It's 9-6. Jared Venutolo represents the tying run for the Blue Jays. 3 balls and a strike. Diaz will go into the line. It's 3-1. Fastball low, ball 4. And the Raiders just cannot put this game away. Second walk of the inning for Diaz. And Tyler Diamond representing the bases are loaded. Tyler Diamond now represents the winning run for Middlesex. He comes to the plate. The Raiders cannot lose this game. I know it's opening day, but they cannot lose this game. Diaz into the line. His first pitch. Fastball at the knees for a called strike. 0-1. I'll tell you straight up. This would be a devastating defeat. So for the Raiders, they need this final out. Diaz with his next pitch. Swung on and popped up into short center field. Gaeta goes out. Garcia going out. Gaeta pops out of the glove. 2-run score. The throw's going to go to second. Maybe. No. 2-run score. And it's now 9-8. Going down to second is Diamond on a 2-base error. That one, Gaeta and Garcia went out towards center field. It looked like Gaeta was going to make the catch. And the ball just pops out of the glove. Salerno scores. And Alicia scores to make it 9-8. Venutolo is on third, representing the tying run. And Diamond is on second, representing the winning run. And the dangerous Mike Lavinia is at the plate. Lavinia is 2 for 4. He has a single, a double, and 2 runs scored. Diaz with his first pitch is a fastball low, ball 1. And this is not coming the least bit easy for Felix Diaz here. So Diaz, as time is called. Home plate umpire stepping out from behind home plate. And he's going to take everybody off the field. He's going to take everybody off the field. And it looks like we're going to have a 15-minute delay here. There's the thunder. I think the home plate umpire saw lightning in the backdrop here at Middlesex, and he's going to take everybody off the field. And it looks like at the bare minimum we're going to have a lightning delay, which is mandatory 15 minutes. And, oh my goodness, I swear, this has got to be one of the wilder opening days that I've ever witnessed in 13 years. The Raiders had a 7-0 lead in the first inning. Middlesex battles back. It's 9-8. Here in the bottom of the seventh, the Blue Jays had the tying and winning runs in scoring position. Mike Lavinia, Middlesex's most dangerous hitter, is at the plate, and the umpire brings everybody in. You cannot make it up. So we're going to have ourselves a lightning delay here of 15 minutes at least. So, stay tuned. We will take a break. And when we come back, we'll figure it out. But 9-8, the Raiders lead it. We'll break, and we'll be back from Middlesex in just a moment. This is North Brunswick Raiders baseball on the King James Radio Network. Corbett Thompson back here at the King James Broadcast Center as, well, I wanted to, for those of you listening to us here on the archived version, I wanted to fast forward a little bit through our rain and lightning delay, where I said before the break there that you have a minimum 15-minute delay whenever there's lightning in the area. You have to, stop play for at least 15 minutes. Well, it was an hour and 20 minutes before the teams were able to get back on the field. And so with that being said, the Raiders with a 9-8 lead at this point, and the Raiders would change pitchers as Felix Diaz would come out after sitting basically in the dugout for an hour. Felix Diaz would come out. Ryan Lillis did not want to take any chances. And junior left-hander Eric Vasquez would take the hill to try to go after his first varsity save. And so the Raiders, on the strength of 4 RBIs from Christian Petrillo in his high school varsity debut as a freshman, 4 RBIs. And so the Raiders would try to lock it down 9-8 with 2 out in the bottom of the 7th inning, and Middlesex with the tying and winning runs on base. Let's take you back to Middlesex, New Jersey. All right, we make it back on the air here. So the tarps are off the field. The tarps off the pitcher's mound and off of home plate. And so we're going to try to finish this thing. Now, there have been like little mini flashes of lightning here, but it looks like we're going to get back underway. Play was stopped at about 6:20, about roughly 70 minutes ago. And so we're gonna see what happens. And it looks like Eric Vasquez, from all indications, it looks like Eric Vasquez is going to pitch here for the Raiders. And so it looks like we're going to resume here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So play will resume in a moment. We are in the bottom of the 7th inning. North Brunswick 9, Middlesex 8 on opening day. The lights are on here at Middlesex. And it looks like Eric Vasquez will come in and try to get the final out for his first varsity save. So the 4th pitcher of the day for the Raiders will be Eric Vasquez, junior left-hander. Now, last year, Eric was 0-1 with a 3.97 ERA, 12 1/3 innings pitched, 20 hits, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. So Vasquez will pitch and try to pick up his first varsity save. Ryan Lewis, I guess he felt that with the delay, just too long for Felix Diaz to go back out there. So more of a safety concern than anything else. But Vasquez will come on here in mid-at-bat to try to get the final out. And again, after approximately a 1 hour and 13 minutes, soon to be 1 hour and 15 minute lightning/rain delay, we will go ahead and try to finish this game on opening day. North Brunswick 9, Middlesex 8. Mike Lavinia will be the hitter with a 1-ball and no strike count. Jared Venuto is the tying run at third base. Tyler Diamond is the winning run for the Blue Jays. He's at second base. I didn't think we'd have baseball under the lights this early on opening day. None of the parents are sitting on the bleachers because they're all wet. So they're all standing over here to my left. So here we go in probably the most bizarre game that I've ever done. Mike Lavinia will come to the plate. You hear the Middlesex dugout in the background. Lavinia is 2 for 4. Single, double. He's also flied out to center and flied out to left. Eric Vasquez, the lefty. And he'll step off here. Now the home plate umpire. It looks like Coach Lewis is going to walk Lavinia here. He's just going to put up the 4 fingers and put Lavinia on. Intentional walk to Mike Lavinia here to load the bases. So Ryan Lewis, he wasn't going to let Mike Lavinia beat him there. No Matt Caravellano for Middlesex. So that brings up Andrew Pallara. Pallara has 2 singles. And Vasquez will step off. I think he wants to go over the signs. He wants to go over the signs with Andrew Tan. So again, Pallara at the plate. Bases loaded. Vasquez with his first pitch. Fastball at the knees for a called strike. Looked like it hit the inside corner. So a 1 hour and 23-minute rain/lightning delay has now passed us. Bases loaded for Middlesex. Pallara at the plate. Vasquez with his next pitch. Fastball swung and belted to deep center field. Christian Petrillo going back, and he makes the catch, and this game is over. Christian Petrillo just kept going back and going back and going back. He had enough room in front of the fence. And the North Brunswick Raiders, for the second straight year, defeat the Middlesex Blue Jays on opening day. They win it by a score of 9-8. The Raiders hang on. The Raiders had a 7-0 lead in the first inning. And give Middlesex credit, they just came back and came back. The Raiders led it 7-0 and actually 8-0. 8-0. Middlesex came back with 3 runs in the third. The Raiders tacked on 1 more, made it 9-3. So the Raiders had leads of 8-0 and 9-3. And Middlesex chipped away with 2 in the 5th. And then 3 more here in the 7th. 9-8 is your final. And so we will take a break here. We will come back, and we'll see if we can get our Raiders Live post-game interview here in just a moment. The final score, North Brunswick 9, Middlesex 8. We'll break. We'll be back. This is North Brunswick Raiders Baseball on the King James Radio Network.
Spring is here, and the summer is fast approaching. Before you know it, your teenager will be looking for some cash for new clothes, a new car, or just anything that looks new. The Audible Spotlight presents Jobs for 16-Year-Olds, a handy tutorial for that young man or woman to find the right part-time job. Get the edge on the competition by knowing where to apply and how to apply for the right summer job. The Audible Spotlight also presents Colin Kaepernick, who led the San Francisco 49ers to an appearance in Super Bowl 47 and is now on the trading block. Hear about the successes and struggles of a player who not too long ago was considered one of the NFL's premier quarterbacks and could be again with the right team. Jobs for 16-Year-Olds by John Wood and the story of Colin Kaepernick from Clayton Jeffries are available at Audible and iTunes and also on the King James Radio Network website at jamesisking.com. Spring into summer with jobs for 16-year-olds, or learn about one of the big stories of the pro football offseason, Colin Kaepernick, right now at Audible and iTunes. Listeners of the King James Radio Network can visit the King James Radio Network shop at jamesisking.com and get $10 off of your purchase with no expiration dates and no limits. Right at the top of the homepage is the My Locker icon. Click and customize your own KJRN gear from there, then use the code listed on the website for your discount. Sweaters, t-shirts, hats, bags, and all kinds of apparel to give you the look of a top-notch team or a top-notch individual. Thank you for checking out the KJRN shop at My Locker, only at jamesisking.com. Your home for Restoration Place, North Brunswick Raiders Sports, Timothy Christian Basketball, and the Jersey Basketball Association is the King James Radio Network.
All right, so we come back to Raiders baseball on the King James Radio Network, and this one is a final as the North Brunswick Raiders hang on to beat the Middlesex Blue Jays by a score of 9-8 here to start the season. And so the Raiders, no post-game live interview today. The Raiders they're gone. They're on the bus, and they wanted to get out of here as fast as possible before anything else happened. So, our player of the game is Christian Petrillo, and he would have been our post-game interview. But we will get Chich another time down the road. And so, the rain has stopped. No more lightning. So everything seems to have calmed down here in Middlesex. But the Raiders win it 9-8. And the Raiders once upon a time had an 8-0 lead in this game. And it almost got away. I won't even bother telling you trying to recap the game. Other than to tell you that the Raiders scored 7 runs in the first, 1 in the second, to take an 8-0 lead. They jumped all over a Middlesex starting pitcher Kyle Neptune, and knocked him out of the game in the first inning. Quincy West came in, didn't fare a whole lot better. He left the game in the second inning, and Zach Adams went the rest of the way for Middlesex. And give Adams credit in that he held the Raiders to 1 run in his appearance, and gave Middlesex a chance to come back. And so you give credit to Zach Adams there. But North Brunswick pulled this one out, and again they win it by a score of 9-8. So my thanks to Michael Donnell. There's another flash of lightning right there. My thanks to Michael Donnell, athletic director here at Middlesex, not only for his help with the broadcast today, but for coming on to talk about his 1-year-old son Shane, eons ago, and Shane's fight with cancer. And again, you can catch that on social media at hashtag Shane Strong, and do that. He has a GoFundMe page. You can kind of Google that and take a look at it. We're about to do the final totals here. Let's see. So the Raiders will, they start the season at 1-0 as they defeat Middlesex for the second straight year. Eric Vasquez gets his first varsity save. So Eric gets the final out, pitches to one batter, and gets the final out for his first varsity save, as Middlesex had the winning runs on base, the tying run at third base, winning run at second base. And Ryan Lewis, give credit to Ryan Lewis too. He walked Mike Lavinia there with first base open. Did not want Mike Lavinia to beat him, intentionally walked him to load the bases, and that brought up Andrew Pallara, and he flied out to center field, flied out to Christian Petrillo in left center field, deep left center field, about a few feet away from the fence to end the game. And so Middlesex, even though they batted around in that inning, they sent 9 men to the plate. They scored 3 runs, but North Brunswick hung on to win the game. Middlesex, I never did mention the line score there. Middlesex got 3 runs. There was an hour and 20-minute lightning/rain delay in between, but Middlesex scored 3 runs on 2 hits. There was 1 error and 3 men left. So anyway, let's do the final totals here, and then we'll let you guys go for the night. For those of you that stuck with us throughout, we thank you for listening to us on the King James Radio Network at jamesisking.com. We thank you so much. But anyway, final totals go like this. For the North Brunswick Raiders, 9 runs on the 11 hits with 2 errors. They left 10 men on base. They survived a Luis Castillo moment in the 7th inning before the lightning rain delay hit, where with 2 out, pop up in the short center field. Neil Gator and Justin Garcia went out. The ball pops out of Gator's glove into the ground. And, that could have been the death of the Raiders right there, but they hung on to win the game. And, it's the wildest game. Like I said, I've been doing this. I've been covering high school sports for 13 years, and I have to say it's certainly the wildest opening day that I have ever been a part of. So, can't make it up. But anyway, final totals. 9 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors for the Raiders. They left 10 men on base. For Middlesex, 8 runs on 10 hits and no errors. The Blue Jays left 11 men on base. Your winning pitcher is Eric Reardon. Eric gets the win, as Middlesex never did tie the game after he left. So Eric does get the win. He goes 4 2/3 innings to get the win. So he is now 1-0. Kyle Neptune got the loss. He was knocked out in the first inning. He is now 0-1. Eric Vasquez gets the save, his first of the season, and his first varsity save. So congratulations to Eric Vasquez. And so that will do it from here. Our next broadcast, I gotta get something to eat. But our next broadcast of North Brunswick Raiders baseball on the King James Radio Network we'll have softball tomorrow morning. We'll have the Lady Raiders tomorrow morning, weather permitting, assuming it doesn't rain much further, weather permitting at 10 a.m. Tomorrow morning, when the Lady Raiders will have their season opener, and they will take on the Colonia Patriots from Raiders Field. Game time is at 10 a.m. Raiders live at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Now, our next broadcast of Raiders baseball on the King James Radio Network will be on Tuesday coming April the 5th, when the Raiders will play their home opener at Guido de Torres Field. They will take on the South Plainfield Tigers in the back end of a home-and-home series in a GMC White Division matchup. Game time scheduled for 3:45 p.m., and Raiders Live will hit the air at 3:30. So again, my thanks to Michael O'Donnell, athletic director here at Middlesex. My thanks to Greg Tafaro of the Home News Tribune for his participation in our pregame. My thanks to head coach Ryan Lillis and his assistants John Wares and Ray Lepsky. And so that'll do it. So my thanks to Middlesex coach Justin Nastasi as well, and the guys over there. So we're done. This is Corbin Thompson saying goodbye. Godspeed. We thank you for listening, especially if you listened for the entire almost 4 hours, almost 4.5 hours of North Brunswick Raiders baseball on the King James Radio Network. Your final score on opening day 2016, the North Brunswick Raiders 9, the Middlesex Blue Jays 8. We'll talk to you on Tuesday for baseball, tomorrow for softball. You folks, have a good night.